Yeah, ma'am, we are not able to hear you.
Oh, so sorry for that. One second. Yeah, I hope I am audible to everyone now. Perfect. Okay, so let's start with the delete functionality. Previously, I was just doing one mistake. I was using get method here in the methods, which is not, which is wrong actually. That's why the delete functionality was not happening correctly. Otherwise, everything which I explained was correct. That we have to create a route for delete seller, then whatever id we are taking, that we have to take. And remember, actually, yesterday I came across that some students are struggling that which id we take here and which id we have to mention in the html page. For example, like in edit also I have given seller underscore id. So this seller underscore id is the foreign key in your models.py. So search for that whether there is a foreign key related to that particular thing or not, for which you are going to do the edit or delete. Okay. So yeah, I have a seller underscore id as a foreign key inside storage table. Fine. So that I have used inside this. But when I'm going to the HTML page, there is the column name of that table. Okay, there we don't use that foreign key, we use the table name and the column name inside the values. Okay, remember this. And anywhere if you struggle or get confused, you can ask me. Now, so this was the concept which many of you were struggling with, the id thing which we give inside edit functionality, delete functionality, and also you all have doctor and patient dashboard, right? So admin is only one in your application, so we don't need ID for that. But doctors will be multiple and patient will be also multiple. Similarly, in my application, seller and customers are multiple, but right now I have not given the id, but you should give id here as well. Why? Because when you log in into the particular seller's dashboard, for example Aditi Krishna's dashboard, you are logging in, so it should tell that this id you have been logged in, means seller slash seller dashboard slash 1. This should be shown, because if every seller is getting only a common link for their dashboard, then it won't be called as unique url. Okay, so when there are multiple users, the dashboard should uniquely distinguish that which url is for which particular user. So I will request everyone that you should give the ID inside the dashboard of doctor and patient as well. Okay. Yes. So I hope this delete functionality is clear, that I have taken the foreign key. Then in the argument of delete seller function also I have mentioned that foreign key. And then I have made a variable in which I am storing all the data of that particular ID from the seller table. And then I am telling db.session.delete that particular variable which is storing that data of particular ID. And then I am saving it, and success message is shown, and we are returning back to the admin dashboard. So this is the route, and I have used this delete route in my button in the HTML page. 1 minute. This is edit seller, and this is the delete functionality. So you can ask me why I have written inside form tag, because I have created the seller using form tag, I have edited the seller using form tag. So I am deleting the seller from the form tag. Okay. So this is the main reason why I have mentioned directly here form, because it was not a lengthy thing. I don't have to mention the labels and inputs. I am just deleting the particular data from that form tag. Okay. So there are some stylings here you can ignore as well, but what are the things you have to keep in your mind is method. I have mentioned post, action, which consists of the URL path, the table name, and the ID. ID was the column. And then these are the secondary things. This is not a priority, but you can mention that. This, that, yeah, this will be a check for me that when I click on the delete button, it will be just giving a pop up that are you sure you want to delete this seller account or not. Okay. And otherwise there is only styling, the button is there and styling is given. Okay, you can, I will show you how it looks like. I have done a little bit styling. So this is how delete functionality will work. Okay, everyone is clear that how delete functionality will work now, and how you will implement that inside your HTML page. Perfect. Let's come to the block or blacklist functionality. Before coming to that, no, okay, let's come to that. Then I will show you in the browser how these both things look like. Okay. So I have created one route named as toggle seller status. Okay. Why I have given this name? Because you all know that in my models, I was giving the status of customer and seller as active. Okay. Similarly, in customer table as well, I have given as active. So I have given the name of route that will change the status to block. Okay. If I click on the button block, and it will, yeah, it will change the status. And how everything is done inside the route, let's go through that. So I have given that every block button will be assigned to each seller. Okay, right now, so I have mentioned here seller ID. It will store all the data inside one variable that is named as seller, and then it will check that there is a column for seller that is status, and if it is equal to active, then the status will be changed to blocked. Okay. How it will be changed, that I have given inside the HTML page a button. If that button is clicked, so from active it will be changed to blocked. This is about status. Okay. And the warning, a flash message will be coming. Fine. And if the unblock button, see, when we click on block, the block button will be changed to unblock. Okay. So then it will again check that if the status is not active, then it will change the status to active. Okay, and it will be shown that it has been unblocked. And then this thing will be saved and we will be redirected to the admin dashboard itself. Now, where in the HTML page this functionality is used? There are many ways to write the route of block and unblock, but this is the most easiest way to write it. Okay, how? Because I have already mentioned the default status while creating my models, that both seller account and customer account will be shown as active. So whenever it will check in the if and else statement, it will change the status from active to blocked or from blocked to active. So this is the easiest one. Now coming to admin dashboard, you can see this form tag. Why form tag I am using? Because when we were creating the account for seller, we were creating using form tag. So status was by default set, but right now we are changing the status. So we are using form tag for changing that status. What are the necessary thing? Method is given, action. In action, we are taking that route path. And inside the button, you can see I have given a if condition here. So you can see this if condition is written with the help of Jinja 2. And now it is checking if seller dot status equal to active, and else condition is also there. And remember this, whenever we use if condition, for loop, or while loop, we have to end that. So we have ended that. So this status of active will be shown when when block button will be shown. And if we click the block, the other button will be shown as unblock, as it is showing. Okay, so I hope everyone is understanding how status is going to be changed. If not, then I will run my application and show you so that some more clarity comes. Just a minute, I will stop presenting this and I will present this. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Just a minute. Let's first go inside admin dashboard. Right now I have not given the button, so I am using this URL. But please don't go with my thing. You all have to change your pages, or go, if you want to go into other pages, you will be going using the buttons. Remember that. Nobody will type like this. The URL will be not typed. Okay. If you type URL in Viva, you will be getting less marks. Okay, because that is not the correct way. Yesterday I saw many of you were doing, so I am telling it explicitly today as well. So okay, so you can see I have created one user Shri. Let me create one more so that you can understand some difference. I am creating a seller. Seller created successfully. Okay, you can see two sellers here, and both status is by default set as active. Role is as well set. I had a role column as well whose default role was seller. And now there are three buttons: edit, delete, and block. So when I click on delete for Aditi, it will be showing, are you sure you want to delete this seller? I will cancel right now. I will show how delete functionality will work, but first let me show block functionality. So now what if and else will be doing? First, it has checked that the status is equal to active, and now when I click on block, it will change my status to blocked. Okay. Flash message has been came, which we have given in the route itself. So it is showing block, and the button of block has changed to unblock. Okay. That only I was telling you inside my HTML page. And again, if I click on unblock, it has told that it has been unblocked, and now the status has again changed to active. Okay. So just 1 minute. What happens at block time? I will show you. When I click on block, here you can see admin has blocked Aditi and status has changed to block. Okay. Let me go to the login page and try to log in with Aditi's profile. Aditi 1234 log. You all can see this has came. Your account has been blocked by admin. Please contact support. Okay. So what I have done after creating the block button, you all have seen that a route I have created and I have mentioned inside the form tag in admin dashboard HTML page. Now in login route, I have given one if condition that will check that the if the role is seller and the status is blocked, it is not able to log in, and a flash message will be shown like this. Okay. Similarly for customer also I can do this. So I will show you that route first so that you can understand. One second, I'm sharing. Uh yeah. Let me go to app.py. So this was the toggle seller status. Uh, I keep my routes closed because that is the good way to track your code. Yeah, so this is the login page. Previously, we were doing this and checking the password and all. But at the time of checking the password, after that, I check the role that this what is the status of this user. If the status is blocked and the role is user, the the seller will be not able to log in. Same, I can write this if role again here for customer. Okay, so this was the condition I have given for block functionality. Is everyone clear how delete and block functionality has been done? Just a minute, I will ask everyone. Divyani, I think yesterday you were not present, right?
Ma'am, I was present.
Did I review your code?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. Sorry for my memory.
Okay.
Anam, why did you left the breakout room when I assigned you the breakout room? Anam and Saji.
Ma'am, the network issue was there at the time. Hello.
Okay, then when you will be showing me your work till now? Because
Ma'am,
yesterday I reviewed everybody's work.
ma'am, I have done with the models. Ma'am, yesterday there was an error coming in my models while running the application, so I was rectifying it. Ma'am, now it is done. I have to create the dashboards for patient, doctor, and admin, and the crude functionalities. Ma'am, that will I do by today itself, and will show you tomorrow. Hello.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And okay, fine, Anam. Thank you. Saji, why you are not replying? Are you in the session or not? Okay, fine. So these two functionalities are completed. Let's come to the search functionality. So right now I have given the search functionality for admin. So admin will be searching both patient and doctor in your application. But in my application, he is searching seller and customer. Why I have given the route different? Because in your application, admin will be searching patient and doctor, and in patient dashboard, you will be creating other route which patient will be searching only doctors. Okay. So here I have given two routes in my application as well. Like the next route I can create as customer search, in which customer can search for sellers. So it will be very much similar to that only. So I guess you can copy and paste your code and just give a little bit changes whatever is required and make it work. So let me first tell how this search functionality is working. I have made the search bar inside my HTML page that I will show you later. First, let's go with the logic of the search functionality. So, I have created the route for that, and yes, we are using both get and post because it will be fetching the data from the database, retrieving that data, and the data which we when we click the search button will be showed on our front end will be done by the post method. Okay, so both methods are used here. We have created the function and now we are requesting the post method, and inside we have created two types of variable, that is search query and search type. Okay, so when I will be showing you my search functionality, I am selecting two things. First, there will be a drop down button in which I will select that whether I am searching my search type, that what is the search type. I am searching for customer or seller. That is one thing. So it is requesting that. And next thing will be the search query, which I will be typing inside my input box. So that will be fetched and stored inside search query variable. Okay. Now you can see one new thing, that is strip. Dot strip is a function used for searching the query from the database, sorry, inside the database. So that's why I have mentioned that dot strip inside search query variable. After that, we are showing that results in a list format. Okay, so whenever a seller is searched, all the, for example, you have searched only AD, so whatever sellers who have AD in their username, that will be shown in a list format. So we have created a dictionary in which both seller has the values in a list format, seller and customer has the values in a list format, and this results will be only displayed. Now, what is happening? It will be checking that if search query is there and if search type is there. So, first of all, I am searching sellers by username. Yes, I have defined here this thing. Why? Because in your application, you have been asked that you can search patients by their name and you can search doctors by their name or by their department or specialization. So I have mentioned it separately, otherwise I can write it in one line as well. So this is for you only, that how you will be writing it separately. So I am first of all telling that I am searching the type seller. If I am searching the type seller, then it will be querying everything from the seller table. And what will be queried and filtered? The username. Okay, and it will check that the search query is having that username or not, and all that will be fetched and stored inside the sellers sellers variable, and this results will take that value inside it. I hope everyone is understanding what I am trying to tell. This is the play of dictionary and list. Okay. Similarly, for customers, I'm searching the customers by username right now. You can search the customers by phone number as well. Just you can uh, play around with it so that you have a good understanding. And similarly, whatever I fetch, all the details will be stored inside customers, and that will be assigned to this. Results is a dictionary, and customers and seller is the key. I hope you have understood from here. Sellers and customers are the key of result dictionary, and the values are assigned in this way, okay, in a list format. So now when the results are assigned, then we render the template admin dashboard.html, and sellers will be showing all the data for seller table, customer will be showing all the data for customer table. Why I have written that in else? Because sometimes user can select all only. So in all, it has to search the seller thing. Okay. And there are some other variables which I have given, that is search performed equals to true, search query equals to search query. So these are the things which I have mentioned in my HTML pages, which are mentioned here as well. So this is how search functionality is performed. If anyone has any query in this particular route, you can ask me. You can raise your hand. Now coming to the HTML page, search. Oh, sorry. Control F. Yes. Yes. Search bar section has been started from here. So first of all, I have created a search bar. So the styling I have done using CSS. This is called as inline CSS. Whenever you do the styling inside the tag itself. Okay, CSS are of three types: internal, external, and inline CSS. But I will recommend everyone to use Bootstrap. That is more easy. So I have given the heading, then I have created a form tag for the search functionality. And I have a select options in which I have given three drop downs, all customer and sellers. And if whatever is selected, what to show and what not to show, that has been shown inside the Jinja 2. Since it is variable, it will be get changed. So I have written that inside double curly braces. Here inside the form tag, I have given the method and action, and then inside input, I am giving that I am taking the search query and I will enter the name to search. What will be the value inside that? It will be taking the search query variable which I have already created inside app.py inside the search route. Okay. Then these options will be selected. These are the two things which we take while doing the search functionality. That's why in the route I have mentioned two things: search type and search query. Okay, a submit button is there, and then we can clear our search as well. So this was the form in which the search functionality is happening, and now comes how search is being performed. So it will be searching the results given on the search query. Sorry, whatever the user has typed the search query and selected the search type, the search will be done, and it will be showing the search results for the customers or the seller in a list format. Okay, and I have also told to mention the length. means, for example, how many customers are containing AD in their name. So total number of that will be shown. Like total 5 are shown AD inside their username, so it will be showing 5. So the length will be also shown. The number of search results will be also shown. Similarly for seller also I am showing the number, and then at last I am giving the button. Sorry, yes, this is the create seller. So till this point the search functionality is performed. Now let me share the tab. See, these are the activities which, when you perform, will be more clear to you. Okay. If I explain it also, it won't be that much clear. Okay, I am only telling you. So try to do it by yourself first. Read my code, and then you can do that. Yes. So this is the search query. Okay, whatever we type here, and this is the search type which we select. So right now I am selecting sellers because I have no customers created till now. So I will search for I, only I, and click on search. So it is telling two total results has been found in sellers. So Shri and Aditi both are having I. Now I am typing, so I am clearing the search. And now again I am just leaving it as all users, and I'm searching for SH and search. In all, it has found only one total result. Then I will search for Shri. Yes, only one is there. So you can understand how the search results are taken. Now the question comes that when you search, it is showing only the search results. It is not showing the data. For example, you can ask that if I am selecting for any seller, I'm searching for Shri, then it should show all the data of Shri, right? But but now it is showing when I type the full username, and then you can see Aditi has been removed from the admin dashboard. Okay, so i I can say that now you can understand that how the search result is fetching the data. Is it clear to everyone?
Yeah, more specifically, if the drop down is selected as all, then it showed the results in the flash message.
No, it's not like that. In
Okay,
all users, I have selected only I, right? Just a minute. I
okay,
will
okay.
search for Aditi. Okay. Oh, yes. In all users, it show all the data and only the
Yeah,
total. So that is the problem of my code. I have not written that in the all. But whenever we select a particular role and then try to search, then that data is only shown.
it is
Yes.
doing the absolute search.
Yes. So don't give all in your functionality. Just give doctor and patient. I have just given one
Sure.
extra thing that is all user. So yeah, and that is not also giving the correct thing. Correct search is happening like this only, that when you type the full username, that data is coming or not. Only that data. Now Shri is not showing here. So this is how a search functionality properly works like. Okay. This you have to implement in your admin dashboard as well and in your patient dashboard as well. Okay. Now these three things are done. Now let me just have a pause, and I will first clear that what are the things which you have to do from now onwards. See, your application, the problem statement hospital management system, is very much vast application. Till now, this much elaborated application was not given in the problem statement. This is one thing. So that's why I have breaked it into so many points so that nobody gets confused. In 7th October, on 7th October, the task which I have given, it was having the delete functionality as well, right? So that part you can complete. You can complete the search functionality as well. Okay. Now for today, let us go one by one. 1 second. And if I tell anything wrong, please raise your hand and tell me that this is doubtful or I am telling it wrong. Okay, I just need the feedbacks as well because I am also a human. I can also make mistakes. So, this is your problem doc. Let's go one by one. So, let me open my wireframe for double confirmation. Wireframe is for just idea so that I can visualize the things as well. Okay. So we were in the milestone 3, in which milestone 3 was about admin dashboard functionality and its management. So everyone is able to show total number of doctors and patients, right? If someone has not done, you can just listen me and try to complete it as soon as possible. Then admin was able to create and update the doctor, right? This thing is not needed. Admin cannot update the patient profile. Okay. So, and this is not mentioned in your milestone doc as well. You can check that in your milestone doc, the third milestone, it is not written anywhere that it can update patient profile. It can search for patient. Okay, this is the milestone doc I have changed. Fine. So admin is getting created automatically. No registration is allowed. You guys have done the add update of doctor, and now you can edit the doctor details as well. So that is the same thing. Here add an update is already mentioned, and then again a new point has been given. Okay. Patient info cannot be edited. This is wrong. Okay. So just skip this line. Today what I have taught you, admin can remove blacklist doctors and patient that you have to give. You can give search functionality. So E and G you can complete today with the delete functionality as well. Why delete? Because I think, yeah, you can give delete functionality. Yes. Now in the third milestone, the leftover thing is only the appointments. That is the total appointment and showing all the appointments on the admin dashboard. Other than that, you can complete all the things by today because the next session will be tomorrow in the evening. Now coming to doctor's dashboard. Before that, I want to know that every one of you have created one availability column inside doctor table or not. Those who have not created, just raise your hand. Okay. See, you have to create it. It is not a problem. Whenever you change your models, you have to just delete that table .db whatever is created to see that change whatever you have done inside your models file. Okay. So you have to create a availability column. I will show you that and why it is necessary, because in doctor's dashboard, when doctor will be coming logging in and coming into its dashboard, First of all, he will be updating his availability. This is the major thing, because if it is not done, then how the patient will be knowing that these are the dates in which this particular doctor is available? Okay, then only appointments can be booked, and then only appointments can be accepted. Okay, so everything is related. So first of all, you have to make a availability column. So I will show you guys. I have created a availability column inside my models as well, just to show you. Inside seller, one second, I'm sharing my screen again. Yeah, so this is my models.py, and this is my seller column. I have created one column open dates. You can give any other name, availability, yeah, available days. Okay, and I have kept the data type as text. Why I have kept the data type as text? Because I am going to store this in a list format. Okay, so when the dates are stored in a list format, the text data type is the most standard way to use it. Okay, instead of date time, I am using text here. Okay, and I have given nullable equals to true, because when the admin creates the seller's profile, he will be not giving these open dates. Okay, just a minute. I will show you. mm, Label equals to true. I have to show my whole screen then. Just a second. I have given nullable equals to true. I am sharing my entire screen so that you can see everything at once. Yeah. So this is the create new seller button, and here you can see I have given open dates nullable equals to true, means admin don't has the uh, right or permission to give the dates by themselves. So when I create a new seller, only these details are created here. Okay, so let me go back, let me clear this search. And okay, Aditi is blocked. So I already told that Aditi cannot block into its account. She has to contact the support. Let us log in into Shree's account. Okay, 1 minute. I hope I asked everyone to give the logout button in their dashboard. You all have completed that part as well. Sorry, seller functional. Shri 1234. Okay, I am now logging in, and when I am coming into my dashboard, I can see my information. So you can understand that when a doctor comes inside, he can see his own. Uh, yes. See, what are the things? Let's go from down actually. They have not given in a structured way. Doctors can receive their login credentials either by email or directly from the database through admin. So right now email thing is optional, and we know what are the credentials of the doctor, because we are only the admin, we are only the doctors, and we are only the patients. Okay, so this detail is fetched, so this pointer is done. Then what doctor is doing? It is updating the schedule of upcoming 7 days only, not more than that. So let me go back to this. And here I have given the button, logout button I have given. This set availability and update availability is same. Okay. So first of all, it is showing that I have not set anything. So first of all, if I click this button as well, this will be showing update availability route. And if I click set availability, then also update availability route is coming. Only I have given the different name of the button. So don't get confused. I will remove that. So when I click on this update availability. Before that, you can see I have my all information of my profile, that this is my username, this is my email, etc, etc. Okay. Now I am updating the availability, because when the customer comes, he should know that these days my shop will be closed. Okay. So on Sunday I will be not opening my shop. Today is 11th October, so it has taken from today to next Saturday. Only 7 days are taken. So I will be mentioning that Saturday and Sunday are closed, and these are the dates I will be selecting it. Save availability. So now these are the current available dates in why my shop will be open. Okay, and now I can update it as well if I want to. Wait, I have not given the update functionality. Oh, 1 second. What I have done, I also forgot. Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, I am available 5 days here. Okay. So these are the things. Now you can update this. So in I have not made an HTML page for update, so you understand that in update, that values whatever you have typed right now, all the 5 days will be taken, and other days will be there, and I can unselect anyone and I can deselect anyone. If the days are passed, then I cannot deselect that. Okay, remember that thing. So now I have uh, given the available dates of my shop. This is the thing which you have to do in your application. And how I have done in my application, I have created one update availability HTML page, in which in the form I am taking the next available dates. And how it is checking that? Okay, these are the set functionality in which I'm setting the dates. But just a minute. These are the setting of dates. Let's first, yes. This is how the functionality works. Then only I will be able to show you and explain the HTML page. So first of all, it is checking that only the seller is allowed to do this. If the user ID and the role is not equal to seller, then it will tell that login into the seller page, or you have not access of the seller, and it will redirect to the login page. So this is the first check, that this functionality will be only done by seller. Now when the seller is already present, then all the details will be fetched inside that using its user ID. If not seller, then again it will be going to the login page. And if it is the seller, then these two things I have imported. This is not the correct way to write it here, but for you I have shown it here. But whenever you are importing or using any library, these two lines, all the imports should be shown in the first lines only. Here, here it should have been shown. Okay, because many of you have done that mistake yesterday, I saw. So I am just mentioning, highlighting that. So after using these two libraries, I have imported JSON. Why I have imported JSON? Because the dates will be saved in a list format, and JSON does that in a standard way. Only JSON is that library inside Python which saves this in a structured manner. Okay, and then I am using date time for storing the date time, and time delta, whatever time. So right now I'm not giving the time, but these two variables I have selected, sorry, these two functions I have selected of date time variable, date time library. Now selected dates is a variable which will be requesting from the form whatever dates I have given right now in my front end. It will be validating that it is within the next 7 days or not, and it will be storing that inside the validate dates list. Right now it is empty, but one by one it will be getting checked and it will be updated. Okay, so now it is checking whether the date is in this format or not, year, month, and date. It will be checking and calculating, validating the dates, and if the dates are valid, it will be updating inside the valid dates list. Okay, I have used here exceptional handling. Okay, this is also called as error handling, that if some error comes, a value error will be shown, and if things are correct, then it will be trying this particular logic of saving that valid dates inside valid dates list. Okay, now once that valid dates are saved in a list format, it will be converted into JSON. Okay, using the dump function, it will be saved inside the database, because we have the list of so many dates. Maybe someone can tell that I am available 7 days, so for one particular seller it is having 7 days, so how it will be saved in the database? Just think of that. I'm going to aditi.db, I'm going to seller, and now Shri has selected so many dates. So you can see how it has been saved in a structure format. So say, so to save the data in a list format, we use JSON. Okay, so this is the very good way and unique way which you can also do in your application, and it is required as well. And you can explain them as well by showing the database that this only allow us to save the multiple data of a particular user in a structured format. JSON is a Python library. Once it is done, everything will be, flash message will be shown, you will be directed to the seller dashboard, and if any error comes, you will be coming to the update availability HTML page itself. Now comes the HTML page. So here we are setting up the dates dynamically using JavaScript. So no JavaScript we have used. JSON is generally used in JavaScript. So I have written here JavaScript. Okay. If someone asks that you have used JSON for storing the data, then did you use JavaScript as well? You will be telling no. You have used only JSON library for storing the dates in a list format. A very short HTML page I have created in which styling and buttons are there. It is not that much complicated. These parts are not correct. I will remove that. Current availability, these things are not used here, and then I will push it so that you guys can use it. And if anyone has any doubt, you can ask me later on for this particular functionality. So, in your doctor's profile, when you log in into your doctor profile, you have to first give your dates. Okay. Now, when the dates are given, you have updated your availability. Now, you have to jump inside the patient dashboard. Okay, after completing these 2 points, you have to jump inside the patient dashboard. You have to check, you can register, login, and you can check your profile. You can give the patient update profile as well. Okay, next thing is that in the patient dashboard, you have to show all the departments. Okay, like cardiology, pathology, gynac, pediac, etc. 4 departments you are showing. Each department will be having a button like this. View details button. Okay. When you will be clicking this view details, it will be showing the department heading, the name of the department, the description which you have given, and all the doctors list which is inside that department. So how this will be happening? I have told yesterday as well that when you create the doctor's profile, when the admin creates a doctor profile, there should be coming a toggle option for department section, and that will be selected. So in that toggle option, drop down option, you will be showing only that departments which is already created by the admin, and in that only you have to select that department so that it will be directly assigned to the doctor. And then you have to relate department table and doctor table. Okay, department table will be acting as a parent and doctor will be acting as a child. So doctor table will be having department id as a foreign key inside it, and department table will be knowing that there is a relationship with doctor table. Then only you can highlight, you can edit the patient dashboard html page, that how this thing will be shown. Okay, so in patient dashboard at first you will, sorry, at first you will be only showing the department names with view details button. Okay, create one route for slash view details slash doctor details. Okay, no, you can show it as slash view details slash then department id, that this particular department's detail will be shown. So when the route path changes, you try to make a new html page for that particular route slash view details slash department id. So that HTML page will be showing the name of that department. Use Jinja tool, the name and description of the department, and then you will be showing a table of all the doctors that comes inside that department. How it will be shown? In a table format you will be showing department dot doctor dot, now the id and whatever things you want to show. You want to show the name, then you will be showing the availability or details like this. Okay, so in this way you have to do. See, now you have, now I have given the content like how you will be doing everything. Just you have to think now that for which thing you have to create how many routes and how many html pages, and how you will be showing that. Okay, I will try to mention all the steps in my readme so that you can follow that, but I am trying to explain you verbally today, because if anyone has any confusion you can just ask me right now, so that the clarification can be given at this moment itself. So first, try to complete till this point, that when you click on the departments button, you are able to see the list of all the doctors with these two buttons. Okay. And you can give the search functionality as well in the patient's dashboard, which I have already showed you how to do. So after that, this view and search will be completed only when you complete this part. Okay, now only you can view all the doctor's detail. So this is important. Try to complete these two pointers of milestone 4 in patient dashboard and last two of doctor's dashboard. This is milestone 3. Sorry. This is milestone 4, doctor dashboard, and milestone 5 is patient dashboard. After this is done, then I will tell you tomorrow that you have to give the routes for check availability, then view details, etc. How you will be. If anyone wants to proceed ahead, you can proceed ahead. And those who just want to work whatever I have given by today, then you can work on that. Okay. Because what will happen after that, when the patient clicks on this button check availability, now he will be booking the appointment. Okay, he has checked that on this date these are the available dates. Okay. Oh, yeah, these are the available dates. So he will be giving his preferred date and time, selecting that and just booking that. So for this, a new HTML page has created. For this, a new HTML page has created, and that route of check availability has been given inside that. Okay. Once it is booked, okay, once it is booked, it has to be, my mouse is sensitive, that's why it is happening. Yeah. Once it is booked, it will be shown at two places. First on the patient dashboard, that this is the upcoming appointment and these are the things you have to show. A cancel button will be given. Perfect. It will be shown at everywhere. On patient dashboard, on doctor's dashboard, only that doctor dashboard who has been assigned this patient. Okay. Like ABCD can only see in his dashboard that I have an appointment. And then admin can see that upcoming appointment. Okay. So I think till this point everyone can complete it. Okay, that till upcoming appointments. So there will be a cancel button. See, the name only changes. What cancel button will be doing? It will be just telling, like in a similar way that we do block or unblock. In block we are not able to log in. So when the patient cancels, here the upcoming appointment won't will disappear from patient dashboard, and in the admin dashboard the appointment will having the status as cancelled, and similarly in that ABCD doctor's dashboard as well, status will be shown as cancelled. Okay. So this is one part. But when it is shown on doctor's dashboard that this patient has given an appointment to him, then he can mark as, okay, let me see first three buttons are given or not. Okay, he can mark as completed or cancel. He can also cancel if some emergency has came. Okay. If doctors also cancel, then it will be shown in the patient dashboard cancel, in doctor dashboard cancelled, and in admin dashboard as well cancelled. Okay. So now till this point you all can do how the appointments are created, how dates are selected. These things you can try by yourself first. If any one of you is struggling, you can ask me personally in the G chat or in the G space. Okay. So now I will try to highlight what are the things you will be able to do by tomorrow evening. I expect that if you are able to create the appointment, then this total appointment will be shown inside admin dashboard. Just you can make a stat page. Okay, stat page which will be showing the numbers on admin dashboard. Right now it is not here in the wireframe, but I think you guys are understanding what I am telling to say, that before showing all the table, just give a box in which it will be showing total doctors 10, total patient 8, and total appointments 7. So that will be a stat. So this part will be done after this. Okay, it will be updating. Second pointer you all have done. Then when the appointments are be is done, then you are able to view all type of appointment, whether it is completed, it is cancelled. Every type of appointments will be shown using Ginger 2. Okay, complete the search functionality both and blacklist. Then your milestone 3 will be done. I will try that I will be checking by tomorrow evening. If someone has completed before tomorrow's meeting, you can ping me, so can I can conduct a personal meet and I will quickly check and tell you to commit push with the milestone commit message. Okay, in the doctor's dashboard, that is milestone 4, what you will be able to complete, that is last 2 points. And then you can check view assigned appointments on the dashboard, and you can give 2 buttons completed and cancelled. Okay, so these parts will be done. In between 2 points are left, that we will check afterwards. Okay, first try to complete first 2 and last 2 points of milestone 4. Next, coming to the patient dashboard, that is milestone 5. First 2 done, you will be doing it. Third is booking. See, rescheduling the appointment is not given anywhere in the core functionality, so or is given here. Okay, so try only cancel appointment. Okay, book and cancel appointment. Then you will be able to see your upcoming appointment on the dashboard. Till this point, all the points of patient dashboard you try to complete. This last point will be done afterwards. Okay, let me see the core functionalities again. This part is pending. Okay, this I can hope only that you will be completing. After appointments are done, then we will be giving a check. Like right now in the login page, we were not giving the check for blocked status, right? So now I have updated my login. So once appointments are done, we will be giving inside the appointment button that that doctor who has got an appointment of 8 a.m. is not again getting the appointment of that particular time. Okay, so that we will be giving the check inside the route. Try to complete these things. I will be telling you what other things you have to do, but by today I will be updating the readme file. Don't worry about that, so that you can understand what are the things you have to done. But I have told everyone verbally what you have to do, so you can now continue working on that. I will push my code and you can continue working on your functionalities, because I want everyone to complete the project by 14th October in front of me only. Yes. Okay. So anyone is having any doubt? Is everything is clear to everyone? Okay. Fine. Uh, Let me stop the recording. So